What's poppin', fam? Welcome to Don't Touch My Mindset, a podcast that is designed to uplift, inspire, and motivate you, and most importantly, share tools to help you protect that mindset. Ooh, I'm all excited. What's up? Happy Sunday. Hello. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. Yo, we are back with a brand new pivotal moment, and I'm super excited for this one. This one I've been waiting for. I can't tell you guys how excited I am about this interview, this person, this author, just amazing light to the world. Truly, her work has taken me out of a dark place, shifted my perspective, and helped me elevate. A lot of people ask me, how do I stay in such a positive attitude? A lot of it has to do with her work. It's absolutely beautiful. So please rate, review, share this with a friend. If anything resonates with you, check out the community, check out the website, follow the show on Instagram at VJChase or at Don't Touch My Mindset. Yo, I love you guys. Keep coming back. We are back on Wednesday with a brand new mindset day, with a brand new mindset. Super excited. Let's dive. Yo, I am super excited. I'm thrilled. I am inspired right now. I'm sitting with a true inspirator, Miss Susan Piver. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I'm so happy to be able to have this conversation with you.
Yo, this is just awesome. Please tell everybody who you are, what you do, what you offer.
My name is Susan Piver. I am a writer and a Buddhist teacher and founder of an online community called the Open Heart Project. It's an online mindfulness community with close to 20,000 members all over the world.
Wow. How did that start?
Oh no. It started because when I became a meditation teacher, like 12 years ago or so, I taught retreats in person back when we used to do that. And I would always end the retreat by saying, if you want to continue to meditate, it's good to find a meditation instructor, not a guru, but a meditation teacher who can help, because the practice can get very claustrophobic, or you think it's supposed to be creating results that we don't find, whatever. It's just good to have someone to talk to about it. And everybody said, we don't know how to find a meditation instructor. So I started saying, well, if you give me your email address, I'll send you meditation instruction videos with just a little talk about something related to meditation. And that was 8 years ago, and it just sort of grew from that moment.
Wow, that's truly beautiful. I'm a huge fan of your work, and I'm gonna have to check that out, because I would love to be taught by you. So there we go.
Oh, we're in good shape then. That's fantastic. It would be great to practice together.
Yes, absolutely. So I have a question that I ask all my guests, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this. If you take away all of the trials, the tribulations, the successes, and the titles, who is Susan Piver, and why is she here?
What a great question. And I don't know is the real answer. I don't know, because who is Susan Piver it seems different from moment to moment and day to day. It's a work in progress that never completes. And I may think, oh, I'm this person or that person one day, but the next day something happens and I see, well, that's not true. So the best answer I probably could give is, I'm curious about the answer to that question more than knowing the answer to that question.
I love that answer. It keeps you digging. It keeps you evolving, when you approach it like that. Wow. I absolutely love that. Well, I have asked you to be here for one great reason, and to share your pivotal moment with us. What comes to mind when you hear the words pivotal moments? Or what was that pivotal moment for you? Go ahead, the spotlight's on you. The mic's yours.
Thank you. It's interesting. I would like to know if you have this point of view too, but the pivotal moments only seem pivotal in retrospect. In the moment that they're happening, it's just, this is something that's happening. So before we started recording, I just said it's a big day for me right now, and it's March 22nd when we're having this conversation, and it's the 10th anniversary of my father's passing. So it's a day of sorrow and a day of joy, and we got to be with him for his last breath. And when such a thing happens, it's impossible to understand what it means. How can this person be gone? And the answer never comes, but the meaning of that love weirdly deepens upon death. In this case, and in the case for anyone where there's been a loving, normal human relationship, complications, but basically he was a wonderful person, and he had a good life and he had a good death. Not many people live to 87 and then die with their family all around them in their own bedroom, having lived a really good life. So that was a pivotal moment. And I guess we also, before we started recording, we're talking about a book I wrote called The Four Noble Truths of Love. And the Four Noble Truths, as you know, are the central tenets of the whole Buddhist path. Whether you're a Zen practitioner or a Tibetan Buddhist practitioner or whatever it might be, these four truths inform the whole journey. And a pivotal moment for me around those truths was, I'm married. I've been married for 23 years. It's an incredibly long time. And at one point, thank you for the clap. It's clap-worthy, that's for sure. This was probably 6 or 8 years ago, we were not getting along at all. And there was no reason. There was nothing happened. No one was being an ass. There's nothing to argue about, but we just could not connect. And it went on for months. Everything one person said upset the other. I'm sure you can relate, or anyone that's been in a relationship for more than 6 months can relate. What the hell, huh? I thought, who are you? And so I was sitting at my desk one day just crying because I thought maybe it was over. And I thought, I don't know how to begin fixing this. And the very next thought I had, and this is the pivotal moment, was begin at the beginning. At the beginning are four noble truths. And it was like, oh, rainbows and unicorns and angel choir. Oh, what a great idea. And then my next thought was, what the hell does that mean? How are those truths supposed to help me with my love life? So that began an investigation for me of how the deepest truths of this one particular, very rich spiritual journey of Buddhism could relate to a marriage or love affair or relationships in general. Because the Buddha, as the legend goes, lived mostly as a monastic, although he was, before he became Buddha, he was married and had children. But most of the Buddhist teachers in the last 2,500 years have not been wives or husbands, partners. They've been monastics. So it was exciting to explore the possibility of bringing these ancient truths into a modern context where they integrated seamlessly, which is very exciting to find out.
Those truths, I'm gonna try here because I actually did an episode on that book. Yes, I did in season 1.
I gotta listen to that. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. But life is suffering. Suffering can cease. No. Life is suffering. Life is suffering. Suffering is caused by grasping. And that suffering can end, and that is the Four Noble Truths, or the Eightfold Path.
Oh. Mwah, 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 mwah. That was awesome.
Yes.
Those are the Four Noble Truths of the Buddhist path. Exactly. Life is suffering, as you say, which is like, really, Buddha? Thanks a lot. But it more means like life is unsatisfying. The Sanskrit word is dukkha, and I've heard that it's more accurately translated as unsatisfying. Meaning you've only had this or that, and then you get it, and you're like, I'm still me. I still have my problems. So anyway, perfect. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Yes. And you asked if I have the same perspective of pivotal moments. And I do. I tell myself all the time that life can only be understood backwards, but we're forced to experience it forward.
You need to put that on a t-shirt. That's so true. That's awesome. Yeah, keep going.
And so then I think about these pivotal moments as in when I'm going through them, and I realize that we are constantly pivoting from how we react or how we respond. And that led me to this framework of the pivot mindset, where when we're going through pivotal moments and we're going through pivots in life, we have to stop and ask ourselves, is this coming from our personal power or our past pain? And then we can dictate how we respond from that, our imagination or our ego. Are we trusting the vision, or are we falling in line and being practical? And then my biggest one is the O in the pivot mindset is over everything is God's will for me. It's not my will, it's not my wants, it's not anything that I can control or desire, which equals to surrenderance to what life has to offer. And being able to always come from a place of personal power gives me the T, which stands for tenacity or transformation. It gives me a different way of looking at perspective, and that birth pivotal moments and things like this. And so, yeah, I absolutely.
What do the other letters stand for?
So P is power, I is imagination, V is vision, O is over everything is God's will, and T is tenacity.
Love that.
Oh, thank you. It's like part of that is your work in there as well. It truly inspired me. So when you think about some other pivotal moments in your life, what do those look like?
Yeah. Just a little reflection on what you just said. The older I get, the more I see that I am actually not crafting my own life. I used to think, well, I have my goals and ambitions, and I got a lot of both. And I got a plan. Not so good at sticking to plans, but I got plans. And this is where I want to go. Totally reasonable. Yeah, I feel like the places I want to go are, those are good places. But the older I get, the more I see that I am not crafting my life. I'm shepherding it. I'm like, it wants to go somewhere. And how can I get out of the way and support what this life that somehow I got wants to be? It's at once extremely personal. Obviously, it's my life, but it, on the other hand, it sort of has nothing to do with me. It's like, okay, now I'll do this. So that realization that I'm not crafting my life, I'm shepherding it, has been a pivotal moment when I was like, I'm in control, but I'm not in control. You know what I mean? I'm in control of how I respond. And the pivot formula has a lot about how you respond is how you live.
Yeah.
And it also made me think of this other teaching in the Buddhist path on the 3 kinds of bodhisattvas. And I hope I'm not rambling. You'll tell me if I am. Bodhisattva means awakened being. And it also means anyone, such as yourself, who's here to be a benefit. And there's all sorts of ways to be a benefit. You can be a great parent, you can be a great teacher, you can be a great leader, you can just be kind to animals or tend a beautiful garden. I mean, there's all sorts of ways to bring beauty into the world. But in the classical Buddhist view, there's 3 kinds of bodhisattvas or awakened beings. And the first is called king. We could say king and or queen. Someone who leads others. Like, I got this, follow me, I'm going to take you there. Great. We need people like that. Second kind is called the boatman or boat person, which is everybody get in, I'll take us all there, we'll go together. I'm not leading you, you don't have to follow me, but we'll go together. And the third is called the shepherd, and it's I'll go last. Everyone go through the gate, everyone, let me see if I can help everyone, and then I'll go last. And that's sort of considered the highest. So I'm not trying to intimate that shepherding your life means you're the highest, but there is something about the notion of shepherd, of seeing the big picture, but also paying attention to every detail. Because if you're not seeing the big picture of your flock or your life, you lose the plot line. But you also have to look at every detail, like every member of the flock, every creature, every being, every step has to go a particular way. So this sense of, zooming in and out, realize that that's a way to live every day. That was also a pivotal realization for me. What do you think?
Yo, I absolutely love that. I talk about leadership all the time, and it's not in a place of leadership of authority or control or let me take you there or you need to do this or that, but it's leading our lives from a place of generosity and unconditional love and making sure that we're coming from a divine servant leadership mentality as connected to source and spreading love, but also showing up to serve in the best version of myself. So that is something that resonates deeply with me on the shepherd. Is I don't call myself a leader. I'm not a leader. And as the community grows, as the podcast grows, and as even the Instagram following grows, I'm not a leader. For I am a teacher and a shepherd, and I lead by my actions and by example. I try to be the change that I want to see.
I totally relate to that too. I'm not a leader. I think of it as I'm a friend. I'm a friend. And the Sanskrit word for that is Kalyana Mitra. It means spiritual friend. It doesn't mean the only difference between me and the people that study meditation with me is I've been doing it longer. That's all. Otherwise, we're all in the same boat. But I have a question about what you said. How do you said you try to, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember exactly what you said, but I try to act in accord with my divinity or with my divine inspiration. How do you check yourself to know that you're in alignment with the divine? I'm really interested to hear. There's no real answer, but how do you do it?
Absolutely. Well, if I take away my will and the things that I want, I drop into the feeling of the body, and whatever action that I have, according to that feeling, as in if I'm advancing, moving in purpose towards a goal or towards an intention, when I'm aligned or when I'm connected to source, the only thing that I should be feeling is peace and joy. That is it. My source brings me nothing but joy and peace. And if there's worry, if there's anxiety, if there's any other type of feelings there, I have to stop and check myself. Is this something that the heart wants? Is this aligned with the mind? I try to integrate both while leading my life. I don't know if that makes sense.
Of course it does. It's lovely. How did you learn this? Did you teach yourself? How did you figure this out?
I'm 5 years sober, and I spent 6 months in prison, in state prison, and I didn't reach out to any of my family members. I didn't reach out to any loved ones or anything like that. I decided to go inward and actually figure out what is wrong with me, as in why am I behaving in this way and things like that. And when I did that, there was one night that I recall, which is pivotal. One night that I recall, my cellmate actually got moved out of the cell and transferred to a different camp, and I was there by myself, and I just got there and I didn't have anything except for my Bible, and I picked it up and just started bawling and started reading it, and then I heard or told myself, when I take one step towards God, he takes 10 steps towards me. And I have been getting aligned and building a personal relationship with my Creator ever since. And so it threw gasoline on the fire for me to dive deeper, to learn more, to tap into unconditional forgiveness, to trigger unconditional self-love for myself.
It's fantastic. Makes me teary. It's so fantastic. I can feel that moments for some reason in my own being, and that's powerful. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. No one's ever asked me that, so I'm grateful to express that and feel that connection. I feel that. That's good.
It is good. Yeah.
Question: if you could make a 20-second phone call to your future self, what would you say?
That's awesome. Relax. Stay the course. Just relax. How about you?
You're exactly where you're supposed to be, homeboy. Quit stressing. Don't worry about it. It's gonna work out. Breathe. You got this. You got this. You got this. You did not come this far to tear down.
I love that. That's great. I once heard a great spiritual teacher say, this was probably 5 years ago, this is like a scholar of the Buddha Dharma in particular, like countless years of solitary retreat and profound study of the great seminal texts and the source material, all the original teachings of the 2,500 years of Buddhist thought. And he said, the more he studies, which is a lot, the more he saw that the entire spiritual journey can be summed up in one word, and that word is relax. That has really stuck with me. I contemplate that a lot. When I first heard it, I was like, really? But like I say, that was years ago, and it sticks with me, like, relax. It doesn't mean, obviously, go to sleep or forget about it. It means be with, open to, employ gentleness. Gentleness doesn't mean being nice always. It means being awake. And it's hard to be awake when you're not relaxed. When you're, in other words, when you're like just trapped in your own mind, which of course we all are. But if you can let that go, even for a moment, and that's what meditation is all about, practicing that, letting go, then you relax. It again doesn't mean I feel good about. It means I can be with. Because, you know, there's a lot of ideas that meditation will reduce stress, and that's great. But I'm pretty sure the Buddha didn't teach it as a stress reduction technique or a way to be a better leader. It's a way to wake up and stop suffering. And so you could relax by getting away from everything that causes stress. That's good. If you have the wherewithal to do that, great. Sometimes you have to do it. You just stay in bed, don't get up. It's not very practical. But the other way to relax is to include everything that's causing unease. And to relax with pain, relax with sorrow, relax with rage. Not that that means those feelings go away. It just means I can include this. I can include this. This too. This too. And I'm pretty sure that's what he meant by relax. Not watch 2 seasons of Housewives of Beverly Hills in one day. Which I
Hey, I have my shows too. It's all right. It is okay. You said that, and 2 things popped up, and it was your awareness is like the open sky, and the feelings, the emotions, the anxiety, the worry, the stress are like clouds passing by. Sit back, relax, and just watch the sky clear. And that is
truly classical metaphor, classical on the spiritual journey. And it includes the sky has no preference. The sky is not like, I like sun better than clouds or vice versa. The sky is like, okay. And when in meditation, you're practicing relating with your mind as sky rather than cloud. And that's what gives it its power, exactly as you say.
I love that. There's something that you spoke about on an interview when I first discovered you and your book and your work and the things that you do. How would you describe the practice of non-attachment?
Mm-mm. I love that question because often people say, oh, you shouldn't be so attached. Why are you so attached? It's often comes across as a kind of shaming. I don't like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm attached. I am attached to my happiness. I'm attached to your happiness. And, I don't want to be punched in the face. I'm attached to not getting punched in the face. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The thing about when people describe non-attachment, I think what they mean is you should convert all phenomena into an equal tone. Like, everything's cool. When things go well, whatever. When things go poorly, whatever. But that's not real. That's not human. That's not human. So attachment, at least in the Buddhist sense, I think just in the sensible sense, means I'm not attached to wanting it to be different than it is. I'm willing to show up here and here and here. And attachment actually means the opposite of not feeling the spectrum of human emotion. It means feeling the entire spectrum and moving with it without trying to attach to, I like this one and I don't like that one. But you just keep going. It's like surfing. I've never been surfing, but it's like I imagine surfing. And when people say you shouldn't be attached, what I always want to say is, why are you attached to non-attachment? Because that is an attachment, to say you shouldn't be attached. So be with your life. Be with your life. Let it speak to you is a great way of expressing non-attachment, I think. What do you think?
I came to this realization. I say realization because it's something that just kind of smacked me in the face of, I believe you said it, let go of the fear of losing something and the hope of something lasting forever, but rather sit here in the moment, in the human experience, and experience it all around you for what it is right now. Not for what you want it to be or how long you want it to be, or not for saying that this is the last I'm going to have of it, but literally just letting go of hope and fear. And that has carried me so much.
That's deep. And I appreciate that you think I said it, but the Buddha said it. Credit where credit is due.
Right.
Attachment and aversion, hope and fear. And when we look at our minds, just as you say, we're usually in one of those. Hoping, or fearing. And sometimes you've heard, maybe listeners have heard, Buddhism is called the middle way. Middle way. And it's not attachment and it's not aversion. It's not hope and it's not fear. It's the middle. So that's just a profound exploration. What you just said.
Look, I didn't even know it. I'm over here just leading life. There it is. Yes.
The things that are true resonate. Wherever they come from, the things that are true resonate.
Absolutely.
So that's great.
If your childhood could be a smell, what would it be?
This is a hilarious It's an awesome question. I'm thinking. Sweet and sour. Sweet and sour.
What memory draws up sweet and sour?
Well, I was born in a family of very nice people, and we weren't poor, we weren't rich. We were like fine, as far as I could tell. But I knew I didn't belong there. I didn't feel at home there. I knew that from when I was like 3 years old. I'm like, what? I don't fit here. But it's perfectly nice. And it still is. And I'm close with my mother and close with my siblings, but I knew it wasn't for me, that world. How about you?
Mine would be toasted cinnamon brown sugar bread with butter.
Please. That's gorgeous. That's fantastic. I love that.
Oh man, I'm originally from Texas, and my mom moved to Missouri when I was 7, so it was my grandmother, and I have 4 sisters. But I grew up with one of them, and we're really close now. But she would always make that bread whenever I would say I'm hungry.
That's good. Where did you grow up? Where were you born in Texas? Where are you from, Texas?
Fort Worth, DFW. Yeah.
Austin.
I moved to. Oh, you're in Austin? I love me some Texas. Yes. That makes me so much happier. It's probably why that connection's so strong right now, because you're sitting in my home state. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Yeah, I think I'm almost all out of questions. I never write anything down or prepare because I want it to be as authentic as possible. And I get to thinking, and I'm just I'm fanboying over here. I'm like, yo, I'm talking to Susan Piver. This is awesome. Can I call you Susan? Are we friends now?
That's wonderful. That's hilarious. That's great. Thank you. And I'm so glad that we got to connect. And I just appreciate the work you're doing, and I'm happy to contribute and be part of it in any way.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm truly grateful for that. I'm truly grateful for this conversation. If you could leave the listeners with any type of mindset advice or just any advice at all that comes true to you, what would that be?
You will not always feel this way, whatever it is.
You will not always feel this way. I love that.
So there's a big space. And I guess I would add to that this famous in my world, any quote from a Tibetan Buddhist teacher named Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, because you not always feel this way. Everything in the path is like you're in a bigger space than you think. You're in a bigger space than you think. Oh, it's even bigger than that. Oh, bigger than that too. In fact, there are no boundaries, which can be very disconcerting. And he said, and this is the best thing I think to leave anyone with, is the bad news is you're falling through the air. Nothing to hold on to, no parachute. Good news is there is no ground. So can you just fall and fly? He didn't say that part, I added that part.
I instantly felt like falling and flying. It was the exact same thing.
There's no ground.
There's just no ground. Whew. You're giving me all the feels. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah, thank you. Where can people, where can people find you? What do you got? What anything coming up? Anything you want to get the people to come check you out on?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the Open Heart Project is a great place to connect and stay connected. Just openheartproject.com. And I have a book coming out in August. I literally finished writing it yesterday.
Yes. Oh.
It's called the Buddhist Enneagram. I don't know if people are familiar with the Enneagram, but it's this profound system for understanding yourself and others. And yeah, it'll be out August 27th. So I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna, if I can, I'm gonna pre-order. Super excited to read it. Wow.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, that makes you really happy. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you too. It's a delight to talk.